All right, Mashpaka, Shalom to the family that came to hear me today. If my audio is correct, please let me know. We're not just going to that verse right there, we're also going to Isaiah chapter 43. I'm going to go ahead and begin reading. I want to say Tawada Mashpaka for coming inside of the chat, Sister Naomi, and whoever else that'll come here after, whoever listening in the background, shalom to you. Go ahead and turn your Bible to Acts chapter 10, begin at verse 9. On the morrow, as they went on their journey and drew nigh unto the city, Abana went up upon the housetop to pray about the 6th hour, and he became very hungry and would have eaten. But while they made ready, he fell into a trance, and saw heaven open, and a certain vessel descending unto him, as it had been a great sheet at the four corners, and let down to the earth, wherein were all manner of four-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creepy things, and fowls of the air. And there came a voice to him, Rise, Abana, kill, and eat. But Abana said, Not so, Yahweh, not so, Adonai, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean. And the voice spake unto him again the second time, What Elohim have cleansed, that call not common, that call not thou common. This was done 3 times, and the vessel was received up again into the Shemayim. Now, while Abana doubted in himself what this vision meant, which this vision which he had seen should mean, he was looking for the interpretation. Behold, the Adam which were sent from Cornelius had made inquiry for Shemaiah's house, and stood before the gate, and called and asked whether Shemaiah, which was surnamed Abana, were lodged there. While Abana thought on the vision, the Rawak said unto him, Behold, 3 men seek you. Arise therefore, and get you down, and go with them, doubting nothing, for I have sent them. Then Abana went down to the men, which was sent unto him from Cornelius, and said, Behold, I am he whom you seek. What is the cause whereof you come? And they said, Cornelius the centurion, a just man, and one that feareth Elohim, and of good report among all the kingdom of Judeans, was warned from Elohim by a Quadash Malach to send for thee in his house, and to hear words of you. Then called he them in, and lodged them. And on the morrow Abana went away with them, and certain brethren from Joppa accompanied him. And the morrow after they entered into Caesarea, and Cornelius waited for them, and he called together his kinsmen, his gullah, and near friends. And as Abana was coming in, Cornelius met him, and fell down at his feet and worshiped him. But Abana took him up, saying, Stand up, I myself also am a Adam. And he asked, and as he talked with him, he went in and found many that were come together. And he said unto them, You know how that it is a lawful thing for an Adam that is a Judean, to keep company or come unto one of another kingdom, but Elohim showed me that I should not call any Adam common or unclean. And therefore came I unto you without gainsaying, without forejudgment. As soon as I was sent for, I asked, therefore, for what content you have sent me. And Cornelius said, 4 days ago I was fasting until this hour, and at the 9th hour I prayed in my house. And behold, a Adam stood before me in bright clothing, and said, Cornelius, your prayer is heard, and your alms are had in remembrance of the sight of Elohim. Send therefore to Joppa, and call hither Shamawan, whose surname is Abana. He is lodged in the house of one Shamawan, a tanner, by the seaside, who, when he cometh, shall speak unto you. Immediately therefore I sent to you, and you have well done that thou art come. Now therefore are we all here present before Elohim to hear all things that are commanded you of Elohim. Then Abana opened his mouth and said, Of a truth, Amath, I perceive that Elohim is no respecter of persons, but in every kingdom, he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him. The word which Elohim sent unto the children of Israel, the word which Elohim had sent unto the children of Yashar Allah, preaching Shalom by Yahushua Mashiach. He is Adonai of all. He is Adonai of all. Adonai, the word, of the southern end. The word I say, you know, which was published throughout all Yiqwaba, and began from Galilee after the baptism which Yachanan preached. Look at what he say. That word I say, you know, which was published throughout all Yiqwaba, and began from Galilee after the baptism. And that right there is a Greek word, baptism, baptismo. They didn't translate that to immersion. So we see that, okay, so since we is used to us saying baptism and baptismo, what does it mean to immerse? What is the custom of the people in immersion under the water? Should you look up to France and Rome and different places to know what is the purpose and custom and reason? What's the purpose? What is the purposeful meaning of baptism, of immersion in water, which Yachanan preached? How Elohim anointed Yahushua of Nazareth, that was the ghetto back then, with a Rawak Yahweh, which was with power, with authority, who went about doing good, tawab, and healing all that were oppressed of the devil. Did he, when he said all right here, was he talking about that Yahushua was sent unto all the people of the whole earth? Yahushua said it himself, and Yachanan, and we'll go there, of the devil. For Elohim was with him. Elohim was with Yahushua. And we are witnesses of all things which he did, both in the country of Yiqwaba, of the Judeans, of the inheritance, the country of the Judeans, and Yerushalayim, that is renamed Palestine, whom they slew and hung on a tree like they hang our people on a tree. Him Elohim raised up the third day, and show him openly, not to all the people, not to all the people, but unto the witnesses. So even though Yahushua was called to go unto Yasharal and Yahweh only, he said he didn't show it to all of the people of Yasharal, but he showed it to the 12. He showed it to his called out assembly within all those people. Ba Yasharal, Ba Bayath, in the tent. So this call out was a call out to the tent, but it was a call inside of the tent. You see what I'm saying? Not to all the people, but unto the witnesses chosen before Allahayim, even to us. Who? Even to us, who did eat and drink with him after he rose from the dead. So Abana said, look, I am one of those whom Yahushua had called out from among Yasharal. And he commanded us to preach unto Habanayam, unto the Ha'al, to the people, and to testify that it is he which was ordained of Allahayim to be judge, to be Allah of the quick and the dead. To him give all the prophets witness. Look at this. To him give all the prophets witness. And like I told you, going into Isaiah, and Isaiah is a prophet, and he is a witness, that through his sham, through his reputation, through his glory, through his name, through his identity, through his legacy, whosoever believeth in him, not in sacrifices of the temple, whosoever believeth in him, not in sacrifices of the altar, but whosoever believeth in him shall receive remission of sin. So you can't change his identity to them. Amen. Don't worry about it, sister. We're gonna work that. I hope that this message will take away the stress. Amen. But I'm finna keep on going, fam. While Abana yet spake these words, the Ruach Yahweh fell on all them which heard the word. Look at this. To him give all the prophets witnesses. So the prophets gave witness to everything concerning Yahushua. While Abana yet spake these words, the Ruach Yahweh fell on all them which heard the word. So remember, he called out 12 out of all of the kingdoms, because it's 2 kingdoms, the southern and the northern. And Yahushua said, I am not sent but unto Yasharal. But look at this. While to him give all the prophets witness, that through his sham, through his name, whosoever believeth in him shall receive remission of sin. Has Yahweh said that he is going to preserve the rulership of all the other nations? Or has he said inside the scripture that there's only going to be one when he returns, and he's going to rule? He's going to rule. The capital of what everything is going to have to submit to is going to be to Yahushua's throne. So all other kingdoms are going to be brought down, and Yahushua is going to be exalted. Why would he say that the apostle or that Yakanan said that Yahushua is greater than me. I decrease, he increase. But when Yahushua come back in his kingdom, the only one that's going to decrease is Yakanan, the baptizer, the immerser? No. So when Yahushua return, every knee must bow, every tongue must give an account, every tongue must confess. So it ain't no second. He ain't got no partners sitting on his side. He's not gonna have a confederacy with the other nations. Yahushua is gonna be the chief, the Shar Shalom. He's going to be the Shar Shalom that the prophets spoke about. That's going to rule over all the Arats, over all the countries. While Abana yet spake these words, Harawak Yahweh fell on all them which heard Dabar, which heard Bama Dabar, the word, and they of the circumcision which believed were astonished. So those who were practicing their legal culture, not illegal culture, they came down and they say, if you circumcise, you broke the law of whatever other country that came in to destroy the nation of Yasharal. Yahweh had told Abraham, circumcise your foreskin. Abraham was not just justified by belief, but his belief was sealed in his circumcision of his flesh. Amen. You can't just say, I believe in going outside with clothes on, and then you don't put on clothes and go outside. You can't just say, I believe in giving somebody something to drink, but don't give them something to drink. You can't just say, I believe in Yahweh in your heart, but never confess him with your mouth. What you believe must make an outward appearance. You can't say, I believe that that I can do a good live. I believe that if I go in the studio and set up my live, then I'll be able to speak through the microphone and reach people, but never go and set up the studio physically just because you believe you can do it, but you never go and physically press the record key, physically set up your live, physically go and do your research, physically go and study, and then outwardly it appear what you was physically doing. But it first started with your belief in Yahweh, that if I put my hand to the plow, that it's going to come out with something. So just because somebody say, I believe, and then they go and circumcise their flesh, then they start doing a heart circumcision. But not only a physical circumcision, but you have to do a heart circumcision, because it was a commandment that your heart must be circumcised. So the apostle he's preaching. Look at what he say. While Abana yet spake the words, the Rawak Alahayim fell, the Rawak Yahweh fell on all them which heard the word. It didn't just fall on the 12. It didn't just fall on it fell on everybody that heard the word. And they of the circumcision which believed were astonished. So those who were circumcised, which is not against the scripture for you to be circumcised. Shalom, monster. Shalom, Moshe the commentator. Okay, Ak, it's okay if you could just listen. If you want to, you can. But thank you for showing up, Ak. So some people think that because Hamashiach came, he came to do away with Yasharal. He came to destroy what his father had commanded Yasharal to do and be. He came to destroy what he told Abraham to do. He came to destroy land inheritance. He came to destroy culture. And instead of them giving you, if you go to work, have you ever seen somebody go to work and then at the end of the day, when they expect it for their paycheck, the person say, that is done away with because somebody died for you. Somebody died for you because of your how you made mistakes in the past on the job. Somebody, or how you made errors in the past on the job, and now we forgave you and we hired you back on here because this person died for you and rose up from the tree. So you're back on this job, but what we got you on this job to do, you don't even have no title no more. You just sitting down, just sit down and do as we do. which is nothing, because if work is no longer work, and if grace is no longer grace, then there's nothing that's going to make sense. Is it against the law for you to have rastas in your head? Is it against the law for a Negro not to comb their head and let their hair lock up? I'm going to say it like that. Is it against the law for you to do oaths to Yahweh? He said, I say to you, swear not at all. But if you swear, you are holding to what you swore out your mouth. So he said, I say swear not at all. Because if you don't keep your end of the oath, Yahweh is going to hold you accountable to your oath. So if you don't swear, you won't have no oath to be held accountable to, because you got to perform to Yahweh your oath. But if you swear a oath, that's what Yahweh said. But if you swear a oath, then you are holding to the oath that you swore. But if you don't swear a oath, then you ain't holding to the oath that you swore. So if somebody say to you, brother, and you know you don't feel good, and you say, and they should understand this. You say, brother, I ain't gonna be able to make it on the Shabbat. I'm not going to be able to make it Shabbat Yawam. The brother say, you know what? I understand that. Then he said, I'm glad that I didn't make no obligations to go this week. But you can't say that I'm going to make it anyway. I'm going to get up. But you got to understand the grace in that, because the brother is sick. He has an impairment. So somebody say, I don't have I don't have the gas money. I don't have no way of transportation to make it to the celebration. Neither do I have the knowledge on how to do it. And the brother say, well, if you ain't got no gas, and if you ain't got no money, and I got the gas and I got the money to give to you, but I'm not going to give it to you, because if a man don't work, a man don't eat, then you can't celebrate this. You're on your way to hell. That's the wrong way to do it. But if somebody say, well, I don't have the gas money, you don't have it, and if we don't know how to do this thing apart from here, we don't know how to set up the booths, we don't know how to do that. This is called grace. That's what this is called, grace. But that does not mean that the feast is done away with. People keep Thanksgiving religiously, even though it is the celebration of a massacre of a people. People keep people keep all these other feasts religiously without any grounds of holding them back. If they don't have the egg, they get the plastic egg and they put the candy inside the egg. If they don't have that, they'll hide a toy. Whatever they do to celebrate Astaroth, whatever they do to celebrate Saint Nicholas, whatever they do to celebrate Tammuz, whatever they do to celebrate the sun in the sky, whatever they do to celebrate whatever thing that the nations got going on, whatever they do to celebrate that, there is hardly no excuses with a person that is religiously got their mind made up to do that. But when they come down to you being who you is as a person, when they come down to you and me being who we are as a person and taking up responsibility as men, we've been trained inside of these places. We've been trained that when it's time for us to be called a man, the only action of being called a man is if we go on a plantation. But what if a brother, what if a sister had a vision of making their own water plant? What if a brother had his vision of making his own power plant, so that the money would go back inside of the community of the people that's paying for the lights? What are you paying for lights for? What are you paying for water for? If all of your money is just spent on other people that don't care nothing about you're just there to be maintained. But if we had our own light systems, the people that's paying the lights, they have their lights on. What are you paying to keep your lights on for? And that money that go in for the lights, how come a lot of that is not being put back inside of the community that's paying the light, but it's being shipped out across the water, being shipped out to save the well? But the people on the street, there's animals that went extinct. There's people that want your identity to go extinct, the knowledge of your identity to go extinct, because they want to simulate into being America. They want to simulate, and they want to force simulation on you. They want to force simulation on you in Europe. They want to force simulation on you in Africa. They want to force simulation on you in the Caribbean islands. They want to force simulation on you in Alaska. They want to force simulation on you. So anything that has to do with the sustainment of you as a person. Forgive me, my tongue is getting my tongue is getting slow. My words don't come out like I wanted to come. And I told y'all, I know that I can't speak clear and precise all the time like other people. I have to write my stuff down when I rap it, or I have to speak it, and then I go in and listen to myself, and then I correct it. But when I come on here, I'm trying not to write nothing down to help myself to speak. Sometimes when I'm passionate, it don't mean I'm gonna stop just because there's a hindrance to me. I'm not gonna call for a Haran to speak for me. I want to be faithful in my house. Is a father and a mother's relationship with their children a religion? But why is that being treated like a religion? But religious organizations is being treated like your parents. How come the states have more authority than the parents have in their household? How come animals have more freedom than people? I'm telling you that the knowledge of you is very important, and you should not let it go for nothing on this earth. I'm telling you that the knowledge of you is very important. Just because you join a fraternity, just because you get a job somewhere, I can change. See, a person can change their job, but they can't change who they was born to be. Only with imagination can they presume that they have changed, because they have been put in different locations. An African brother has said this, and Ophir is where you get the word African. Ophir is a son of Yoktan, a Shemite. But Yoktan's brother Peleg has a line. And Peleg is a Shemite like Yoktan, whom the Yoktan is whom the Africans derive from. You know that word African? But we're not the children of Yoktan. We're the children of Peleg. Negroes in diaspora. We're the children of Peleg. Now look at this. Now you know, Shalom, pure repentance, heart, the kingdom is at hand. We know, Armand, that if an Italian say that I am an Italian American, they'll get no flack from religious organizations. We know that if a person from Spain say I am Hispanic, you'll get no flack from that. We know that if a person from France would love to classify themselves with the nation of their origin, and they say that they are children of Yavan, no, they will get no flack from the religious organization. We know that when Yashmael and them say that we are Yishmaelites, that they'll hardly get no flack from the Bible thumping community. We know that even though Cush name is still in the Bible, Cush. And people say that the Bible, it was a book to control Negroes. But why would Cush, if that book came from Cush, why would Cush make himself Why would they not make themselves Israel? But Cush, but the Ethiopians call the Israelites inside of their country Beta Israel. You know what that means? You know what Falasha mean? It means foreigners. So even Cush identifies with being a seed of Ham. But Yasharal, it has to consciously deceive themselves to receive titles because it make us feel comfortable, to receive titles upon ourselves. We would go and save the killer whale, but we won't save the mental capacity of our people to understand that your father and your mother has a name. We're being taught, we're being coached to disrespect our line. We're being taught, we're being coached that, you know, back in the day when we used to say, forget you and your bloodline and all your great descendants. We used to say that as a joke back then, but now we say it as if it is law. Now we say you must forget them. It is not important. Only thing is important is Pan-Africanism. Only thing is important is to call everybody from the seed of Ophir. Ophir is a real seed, and they are in Africa. And they are valuable. They are your cousins, which means brothers. Ham is important. Canaan is important. Japheth is important. They come from Adam, so that makes them your cousins. And there is no word, the word that matches cousin in Hebrew is brother and sister. The word that matches, but they are not from your house. But yours ain't important. Only if we identify as an American, which is something that is a modern construct, a modern name. African American is something modern that they came up. Par is the ancient form, but we do away with that because the new is the way that everybody is getting down. We don't want to be the exile. We don't want to stand on what we need to stand on. So we allow other folk to come in. I read today that the Yoruba are Ephraim. I read today that the Yoruba and Benai in the West Africa is Ephraim, that they are Israel. Aman. But why must everybody in the whole planet in that place call all themselves African? Everybody is not from Ophir. Ophir is a son of Yoktan, a son of Shem. But Peleg is a son of Sham, not a son of Yoktan. So are we to be ruled over by Ophir? And is Ophir to be ruled over by Yoktan? Because Yoktan has other children. Yoktan has other children. Peleg is the brother of Yoktan, not the slave of Ophir. Ophir, everybody was given their lots of inheritance. But our identity is in the process mentally for our people. We don't even think it important. It has been beat out of our mouth. It has been beat out of our people's mind, out of our psyche, to the point where we are halfway to score one another's credibility in the public places because our brothers and sisters that say his name is not Peter, which comes from the Greek word Cephas, Kephas, but his name is Abana. His name is not Paul, because he was not a Italian. His name is Sha'awal. His name is not his name is not Jesus. His name is Yahabashai. If somebody called one of us out of our name, would we not correct them when Yahweh said inside the scripture, don't call on the name of any other. Now, out of our time when we didn't have the understanding, out of our time, and even if some say y'all still ain't got the understanding, I'm still gonna say JESUS. No matter what y'all say. My grandmama called that name. My daddy called that name. Well, grandma and daddy got a grace. Grandma and granddaddy and great grandpappy and all them that was that English was forced on. They got grace. They got grace. Who want to get whooped all night long till the sun come up and just keep saying their name? Wouldn't anybody in their right mind, your body will cause you to say my name, Toby. Your body getting whooped with slashes all across you. Why are we trying to prove? Why you got to prove yourself to the slave master? Why is his opinion so important? So, okay, my name Toby then. But I'm going to teach my children that my children is Kunta Kinte. I'm going to teach my children that they said in English. English is not Hebrew. They said in English that it's God, because the Pope said that we're going to take this out of here. The Pope said it, not Allahayim. The Pope said we're going to take, not Yah. The Pope say we're going to change this. The Pope say, yo, not the one that we got over us now, but the Pope said, the Pope back then said. Now the Pope now in these days released the information. And they say, this is his name. This is the language that y'all was speaking. This is the Canaanite Hebrew that y'all spoke. This is y'all language. Yo, you know that every language on the earth is preserved except an ancient Hebrew. Every nation have preserved their language all the way down from Adam. The only one that is not preserved is Phoenician Hebrew, and you the only one on the earth that's speaking everybody else's language, and you the only one on earth that was scattered in diaspora. You the only one on earth that was made a Gala. You the only one on earth that was made a Gala. Gala, dispersion. You're the only one on earth that discontinue from your language. You are important to Allahayim. What he gave to Abraham was important for him then, and it's important to Allahayim right now. If Allahayim cared about something back then, don't think he ain't gonna care about it right now. You are a nation. You are a tribe of people. How come you don't have your own water company? How come you don't have your own light company? What's wrong with you having your own? What's wrong with you having your own fruit? Did you see that when they make them oodles and noodles, how they put rats inside of the oodles and noodles? Did you see how the rats is crawling all around in the bread in certain places? Did you see how roach legs is all up inside of the oodle and noodle? Did you see that people still ain't figured out that crabs hurt when they burn? Thank you, Sister Christina, for bringing that out. That crabs still hurt if you put them inside a boiling fire, but we still can't understand how to love one another. We still not understanding that you having your own grain growing up is not an abomination. That you having your own fruit tree is not an abomination. So why was the Black Panthers taken off the street if they was all they was doing was feeding the children? How come that's against the law for you to help your people? How come that's against the law for a person to say they have a dream, not to have a nightmare? How come we can't see it's important for us to love one another instead of arguing about who is different, instead of arguing about you and this association? Get out of the association. If them association keeping y'all from being a people, keeping y'all from loving one another like you supposed to, get out of them association. Get out of the whole houses, which is the church house. Get out of there. Get out of there. If going to that church house mean that you ain't finna do nothing to keep your nation up, mean you ain't finna build nothing in your community, you might as well get out the church house. Get out the church house. Get out of there. Your people is needed for you out here. We need one another out here, whether we want to receive it or not. You a nation. Ain't no nation ran on separatist people. Ain't no nation ran on separatism. What nation you see right now that's running on separatism? Kush take care of Kush. Europe take care of Europe. Even Kush allow you to come in and stay there as an immigrant, but you're an immigrant there. Keep their laws. Where your land at? Where your land at? The scriptures say your land has been divided and you have forgotten your homeborn country. Jacob don't even forgot who his mama is. Jacob don't even know the nativity of them as a people. Because your identity has been made a religion. Your identity has been made a religion. And every Sunday, we believe in blackface. Every Sunday, Negroes is participating in the celebration that their nation is being turned into blackface. She doing all right. She doing all right. I pray that all about loving one another. The two and greatest commandment is to love y'all and to love each other. Amen. They have people right in our communities who do not do not have food to eat. Amen. Shalom. No. But it's a shame before Yahweh. We got all these talents. We got all this. A shame. I want to cry. We got all these talents. Sisters can dance. They can make dance routine. Oh, Shalom, Private AC. Sisters can make dance routines. And you got a brother that own a radio station, but he being controlled by somebody else, or he just don't want nobody else to get no shine. But he won't let the sister come on there and dance or talk about her dance routine. He don't want her to come on there. You got a brand new show. Master say, this is the people we gonna call. You can't call your brother and sister. You can't go back to the hood and pick who you want. But you got brothers and sisters that's complaining about how this industry go, about how that industry go, and refuse to care enough about one another to say, you know what, they ain't gonna help you. So guess what we gonna do? We gonna pull this little bit of scrap here and we're gonna pull that together. If we could go into bankruptcy to put our children inside of colleges so they could be in debt, if we could put all that money inside of that, how come we make excuses for trying to buy a $5 ticket to go and see the baby perform at the show? How come we can't go and support our brother and sister? But we can put up all this money and see, we don't understand that we are killing each other like this. We're killing each other economically. When your identity ain't important to you, then you gonna be like the ant that just walk out there, ain't got no kingdom. That no purpose. His original purpose was to serve the queen in the kingdom. Now he out there and he just wandering about. When he eat, he eat. When he drink, he drink. Like Quayan, like Cain, like the vagabond that's just out. Negroes is like Cain. Negroes is like Cain. We like the vagabond. We like we've been exiled. You remember what Cain was exiled from the garden? We are like Cain. We've been exiled from Yahweh, listening to the snake. Let's turn it to Isaiah 43, family. Negroes is like Cain, exiled from their home country. Turn it to Isaiah 43. I hope that my microphone ain't sounding messed up, family. I'm going to let this play for you.
Isaiah 43. But now thus saith the Lord that created thee, O Jacob, and he that formed thee, O Israel, fear not, for I have redeemed thee. I have called thee by thy name. Thou art mine. When thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee, and through the rivers they shall not overflow thee.
Wait a minute, so you saying Yahweh said I called you by your name? Who named you? Who named you, Yasharal? Who named you? Who named you first? When your father named you and a kidnapper take you from your father, should you not remember who you are? If they make laws against you to build up money and stuff enough so you could go back to where your daddy at. If you forget who your daddy is, where you gonna go? What your children gonna know? That I am the name of the person that essayed my grandfather? That I'm the name of the woman that essayed my grandmother? That's not important. What about the girl that's being called after the man that essayed their grandmother? What about the little boy that's being called after the man that essayed his grandmother? Is this important to you, Yasharal? Are we gonna go and make new religions? This ain't no religion. This is reality. History is not religion. History is not religion. History is reality. Do we care about one another? Do we care about ourselves? That we walking around here and we see no problem. Why is a little girl out there on the street trying to go inside the club to make a little couple of dollars? Why is she over there? Why is the little boy out there slanging? Why is he out there? Why he out there? What is the living condition of why they out there? Could that be a thing? Some say, forgive everything, forgive it all. But if you do something wrong, call the police. But you're supposed to forgive what Christopher Columbus did. But if a little boy steal a piece of candy out the store, lock him up. You're supposed to forgive what Alexander the Greek did and just go along with what he said. But you just supposed to forgive everything. But when it come down to your people, you supposed to ride with it. You lock him up, lock her up. She was late, fire her. He was late, fire him, hold him to the greatest extent of the law. If you don't remember your number, if you don't remember your jail cell number, when they call your name, you're going to get thrown in the hole. But if you remember your name of your people, it's a problem. But you can remember your jail cell number. You can remember your social security number, can't you? Your jail cell number, your social security number, your jail cell. Don't tell nobody your jail cell number, because somebody might get some help from massa using your social security number, which is your jail number. And all of us got a barcode number on us. Plank, ... Without your freedman's paper, without your ID, and without your birth certificate, and without your social security number, you can't work here in these parts, buddy. Go and get your freedman's paper so I can know that you need a job, so we can be able to identify you on this plantation. But if you say that my people is Yahweh, oh, that's an occult, that's an evil thing, we must forget it. Pan-African, everything else. Y'all not no religion, y'all the people. Oh, terrorist organization, terrorism. What? How? That's terrorism? It's terrorist for you to tell your daddy his name, his real name? It's terrorist for you not to identify with the person that essayed your ancestor? That's terrorism? How is that terrorism? Explain to the descendants of slaves that's terror. Explain to the descendants of slaves how it's terrorist for you not to want to identify with the man that essayed their grandmother and their grandpappy. Explain to the descendants of slaves how that's terrorism for them not to want to identify with the man that essayed his grandpappy in front of all of the tribes. In front of all of the tribe, S.A.'d him in front of all of. Explain to the descendants of slaves that hand got cut off because they didn't get they rubber quota in Africa. Explain to the descendants of slaves how it's racism. How is anti-this? How is a cult for them not to want to identify with Christopher Columbus just because they were born in Puerto Rico? Explain to the descendants of slaves. Explain to the descendants of slaves how it's evil for them to say, I love my people and I want to be like my grandfather was and I want to speak like my grandfather. Explain to the descendants of slaves how this evil. Explain to them how it's anti-Semitic. Explain to the Shemitic people how it's anti-Semitic for them to identify with Sham. Explain how it's anti-Semitic. Nobody will, because there's no explanation. For I am Yahweh, your Elohim. Quadash Achad Yasharal. Let's let it play, family.
When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. For I am the Lord thy God, the Holy One of Israel, thy Saviour. I gave Egypt for thy ransom, Ethiopia and Seba for thee. Since thou wast precious in my sight, thou hast been honourable, and I have loved thee. Therefore will I give men for thee, and people for thy life. Fear not, for I am with thee. I will bring thy seed from the east, and gather thee from the west. I will say to the north, Give up, and to the south, Keep not back. Bring my sons from far, and my daughters from the ends of the earth, even every one that is called by my name, for I have created him for my glory. I have formed him, yea, I have made him. Bring forth the blind people that have eyes, and the deaf that have ears. Let all the nations be gathered together, and let the people be assembled, who among them can declare this, and show us former things. Let them bring forth their witnesses, that they may be justified, or let them hear and say, It is truth. Ye are my witnesses, saith the Lord, and my servant whom I have chosen, that ye may know and believe me, and understand that I am he. Before me there was no God formed, neither shall there be after me. I, even I am the Lord, and beside me there is no Saviour. I have declared, and have saved, and I have shown, when there was no strange God among you. Therefore ye are my witnesses, saith the Lord, that I am God. Yea, before the day was, I am he, and there is none that can deliver out of my hand. I will work, and who shall let it? Thus saith the Lord, your Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. For your sake I have sent to Babylon, and have brought down all their nobles and the Chaldeans, whose cry is in the ships. I am the Lord your Holy One, the Creator of Israel, your King. Thus saith the Lord, which maketh a way in the sea and a path in the mighty waters, which bringeth forth the chariot and horse, the army and the power. They shall lie down together, they shall not rise, they are extinct, they are quenched as tow. Remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth, shall ye not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. The beast of the field shall honor me, the dragons and the owls, because I give waters in the wilderness, and rivers in the desert, to give drink to my people, my chosen. This people have I formed for myself. They shall show forth my praise. But thou hast not called upon me, O Jacob, but thou hast been weary of me, O Israel. Thou hast not brought me the small cattle of thy burnt offerings, neither hast thou honored me with thy sacrifices. I have not caused thee to serve with an offering, nor wearied thee with incense. Thou hast bought me no sweet cane with money, neither hast thou filled me with the fat of thy sacrifices. But thou hast made me to serve with thy sins. Thou hast wearied me with thine iniquities. I, even I, am he that blotteth out thy transgressions for mine own sake, and will not remember thy sins. Put me in remembrance, let us plead together. Declare thou, that thou mayest be justified. Thy first father hath sinned, and thy teachers have transgressed against me. Therefore I have profaned the princes of the sanctuary, and have given Jacob to the curse, and Israel to reproaches.
Let me fix my mic a little bit, fam. I think my mic is a little bit off. I hope that y'all is catching what's being brought out, fam. There we go. I hope that y'all is catching what's being brought out. Fam, it's lawful for you to love yourself. It's law. He said, love you one another as you love yourself. If you taught not to love yourself, how can you love one another? It's lawful for you to love yourself. I tell you what, if my little brother had did something wrong, I'm not gonna disclaim my little brother. If my little sister did something wrong, I'm not gonna disclaim my little sister. But some of us, we might do this. Sometimes you might have to get away from people. And see, this is how we treat each other as a nation. If the cookie wasn't cooked perfect, but it was cooked well enough, we won't go back to the store no more. And if somebody at another store don't even cook the cookie as better as that cookie, we hold our people to such a high standard until it's almost impossible for a person that want to open up a bakery to open one up if you was an Israelite that's reclassifying and calling yourself a Crayola company or calling yourself after a hairdo. Because do we even know what African mean? A lot of us that say we are African American or Afro-Caribbean, do we even know what that is? Do we know what an African, do we know what it means? Do we even know what the slave master name means? We have professors in college. I wonder, do they know what they name mean? If they be honest with themselves, they done went through all that study and they don't even know what they slave name mean. That is because these things were sealed from the eyes of the wise. It was sealed from the eyes of the layman. It was sealed from the eyes, and it ain't about who's better than who. Yahweh say, those who come to me must humble themselves. So the wise, the ones that look for knowledge, they don't get it. And the poor of our people don't know who they is. So if somebody looking at, oh, he a crackhead. Is that his new name, crackhead? Or she a crack mama? Is that her new name, crack mama? What's the lady name that everybody call a crackhead? Or call a criminal? What's her name? What's the brother name that everybody call a gangster? What's his name? What's the little baby that people call a fetus? What's the baby name that people call a blob that they can go and get rid of at the hospital or at the doctor's office? What's the name of your grandmother before she was taken advantage of by a slave master? What's the name of your grandfather before he got bucked in front of all of the tribe? What's the name of your people? What's the name of your country? What's the name of the animals that was in your country that you lived among? Do we know that some of our people probably had animals that we had over there as well, since people want to save the animal life? How many animals have went extinct since you've been gone out of your country? How much of life that you don't even experience as a kingdom, but you experience as a gullah, as a captive? Ga'ala means kinfolk. Gala means captive. I learned that listening to Pastor Kelly, I believe 2 nights ago. Sister Christina, you brought something out, sister. Wise society. That crab, that picture of the crab. How long it took for people to realize that crabs being boiled inside of a pot feel pain. I thought they knew. But they say a new study came out that they just not finding out that a crab can get burnt inside of a pot. I pray one day a wise society that we can go live and you can express on your studies on the crabs and things that you study. I want to thank you again, Pure Repentance, for coming. And I want to thank you again, Private C. Let me give you back your badge. You always welcome here, sister. All right. Let me get Private C back her badge. There you go, Private C. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Pure Repentance. I come on here, I be hurting and whatever, but I'm gonna still come on here. You know, everybody gotta bear their cross. Everybody gotta bear their tree. And I'm gonna bear mine. I'm gonna bear mine. And I pray that all of y'all bear y'all tree. All right? Bear y'all got to bear y'all burden. And I want to say shalom again to you, Sister Naomi, for always being faithful, always coming. Sister Naomi be sick sometimes and she still come and show up. Moshe the commentator, he show up whenever he can. And I thank Yahweh for all of the people that's been coming and listening to the word faithfully. Pure Repentance, heart, the kingdom is at hand. Aman and Sister Private C. And positive reinforcement, all of the Mashpaka. Whoever you is, you know your name. I don't want to keep calling out names because I don't want nobody to feel left out. So if you give a salute, family, I'll give you a shout out. But I don't want people to feel left out because sometimes I don't remember all y'all name. And some of the people that I always give a shout out to, I want to try to give more shout outs to other people. And to all the family that's watching in the background, if you didn't want your name to be, if you wanted your name to be shouted out, then you would have gave me a salute inside the chat. So I'm gonna respect your right to your silence. All right. And I hope that y'all like this track that I had set up in the background, and tell me what y'all think about the outro and this song right here. A little bit brief history about this song, ain't gonna be long. A little brief history about this song right here is I was on the phone with my cousin, and he older than me. My cousin, he's a realtor, and he rents out property. And I remember being on the phone with my cousin, and I was mad about something that was going on with me because I kept getting pulled over by the police. And my cousin told me, he said, "Cuz, is you gonna be smart or is you gonna be hard?" I said, "Cuz, can I use that in the song?" He said, "Go ahead." That's the song that I'm finna play for y'all. Please tell me what you think. Please don't forget to like and share. And here we go.
I'm trying to tell you to run hard as you can. Never give up. Never quit. Keep going. Keep going.
Dash, 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 dash. I ain't forget where I'm from. I'm from Polk County, Florida. Home village car shows, can't let like the sport. We ain't have a lot of money, so we stayed real close to the cemetery, man. Keep the mosquitoes out the door. Mississippi selling flip, boy, they were playing dip, playing tackle football with my homeboy. Them. Now everybody wanna fight that we forget how to smile. Too many sell lots in this world, I'm like, wow. Do you wanna be smart or you wanna be hard? It's the devil in the hood, just a tearing it apart. Fearing the home, making more, cause some hearts that got cold. Come together, my people, yeah, on the fofo. Go ahead, hit the gas, put the pedal to the floor. I help you pull your head, everybody got a pad. If a thunderstorm come, man, stay fast still. If you wanna give up, man, hold your head up and dash, 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 dash. I ain't got it all together, but don't wanna be a rebel. Never be a sellout, not a cane on my brother. You compare to do a mile, that we gotta do too. You will never be alone when you're standing in the truth. I give salute to the fathers that stay in their child life. Though your harbor shy battle, let's we still gotta fight. And my condolences to the mothers that the losses of the daughter in this evil cold world that don't care if you survive. Bobbing and weaving on the fifth, cause the rent bill due. Dealing with people talking loud, but don't wanna help you. Got DCF at your house, cause the same people call. Lies spread across town, talking about you like a dog. Go ahead, hit the gas, put the pedal to the floor. I'll help you hold your head, cause everybody got a pass. When the thunderstorm come, man, stay fast still. If you wanna give up, just hold your head up and dash.